Hi guys, how have you been? So while we were away for Brianna's birthday, on her birthday on the second, I met this couple who told me that every November 2nd, every year they celebrate the dead. I'm like, that's good. I like celebration instead of mourning. So to this evening, I have on my cashmere purple slash blue sweater. That's my favorite. Very nice, comfortable, and warm. Feels comfy and fuzzy. The message I have for you today is the truth. 2 weeks ago, I delivered a message about my story, my testimony. So, since I've been diligently, actively seeking peace and the truth, since I'm coming to grips with everything that I have been through in life, God has made a way for me to find out what really did happen to my mom and who was my mom. So, can you imagine living your whole life believing a lie that the enemy tried to plant in you? No wonder why I didn't have peace about this whole situation. So, this lady, Catherine was in charge of us growing up. She was taking care of us. It's the nanny who became the mother. She was living with us, and we went to Libya together. I remember when my dad came and picked me up from the village when I was 7 and took me home. She was the one, his wife just dumped me to her. She was the one who was taking care of me. Do you see these African kids, babies on commercial with that big stomach? That was me. I was malnourished, so she was always taking me to the hospital. She was pretty much my mom from that point forward. What had happened is that although my father was sending 50,000 franc CFA, that was a lot of money back then in the 90s, and also to the village, there I was not getting the proper care and nutrition I needed. That's why I was like, you know what? I'm gonna come and get my daughter. And as always, my dad was always been an outstanding provider. This is a family guy who made sure his wife never had to work and his kids never went without. Not what we needed. We had all that covered, but what we wanted. So she told me that my dad pulled her to the side and said, "You see how you treat my wife's kids? When this one comes, I want you to treat her the same. Please don't make a difference. Treat all the kids the same." So when I came, I was in her care. She was taking care of me. She was helping me. I was 7. I never went to school. That's when I started going to school. And she was helping me through that. And when we went in Libya also, my half brother is a year younger than me. So he and I would get into it and into trouble. If I told on him or he told on me, she would beat the both of us up. And from the very beginning, as God would have it, last night I was looking at a picture of her that I had. I took the picture when I was 10 years old. So we took the picture when I was 10 years old. So that was 2 decades ago. And I still have that picture because a child knows who was there for them and who was not. You know, you don't forget. Your subconscious knows. So when I saw that she reached out to me through my Facebook, my business face on Facebook back in June, I was like, what is that? Why didn't I see that? That God reminded me that I was not ready at the time in June to have that conversation because I was not really seeking truth, peace. But now that I'm seeking that, he's made a way out of nowhere. Because I always thought, I'm like, wow, all those people I met back in the village when I was 14, from my father's brother who took me to the village, my grandfather on my mother's side, my my aunt who raised me from 2 to 7, and all those people, nobody was alive. They were all gone. So I was just thinking in my head, how am I gonna find out about my mom? How am I gonna retrace my route? So Catherine was telling me that what had happened when my dad went to Ivory Coast to work, his own family found my mom. They found Khadija for him because they didn't approve of his marriage to his wife. She's Christian and she had him do the wedding at the church. He is Muslim. My mother was Muslim. So what had happened between my mother and my father was never an affair. It was a family, an arranged thing. The family put them together. His own family went and got and sicked my mother as the wife for her. So my mom was living with my dad in Ivory Coast there. And the wife, as always, she takes years before she moves in with him. She doesn't care about the guy. She doesn't care about my dad, but she won't let him go. Talking of toxic, come on. Illegal soul ties. She won't set him free for nothing. She wants him to suffer because she's that miserable. So she told me that when she arrived in the Ivory Coast, my mom took her in. My mom took her braids off and, did her hair nicely, braided her hair nicely. My mom and my dad took her shopping to buy her clothes. She said, your mom was nothing but kind, very, very kind to me. This is the very woman his family chose to be his wife. He was so happy. The only time your dad was at his happiest was with your mom. So when I heard that, that made more sense. Because when I went to the village, my aunt, remember my dad's sister, the one who told me that I look nothing like my mom. I maybe got 25% of her beauty because my mom was so pretty. She always told me that. She said, yeah, that's who we wanted your mom to be the second wife because we're Muslim, you know. Your grandfather is a polygam on both sides. I say, yeah, so it's making sense. So that's what had happened. And then later on, when his wife came, my mom just said, you know what, let me leave because they went to church and they did the thing. This is a family arrangement more so. And it's a traditional. My mom's marriage to my dad was traditional. They did get married and they did have me the proper way. So it's good to know that I was conceived properly and that everything was done the right way. So later on, I heard that he his wife and my mom got into it. They were fighting, like physically fighting, and my dad's wife told my mom, oh, you will never walk again, you will never be alive again after you've done that to me. So we don't know. The story she told me about my mom passing away is that my mom was in a car accident. When I did see my dad the last time in 2010 when he came to the US and I asked him about it, he said my mom had asthma. So I don't know because later on in life, 2013, I started to have asthma. So I don't know what to believe, but I believe Catherine more so because she has no, and there's no hidden agenda. She has no intention to protect anyone's feeling. It's the raw truth. So who would have known that my catch for truth will bring me the very answers I've been longing for since I was 14? Now, now, I'm only focused on three things, the three P's in my life: peace, protection, and provision. In that order, I want peace in every area. And my journey to freedom, mental, emotional, generational, my journey, my cat of peace, my cat of truth is bringing me all over the world. I'm international, as you already know, but I'm having to go back all over the world to trace my roots. Guys, God has really been good. If you seek him with all your heart, you will find him. And I'm being set free day by day as I get closer to the truth, as I'm no longer believing the lies of the enemy, as I'm being pushed forward, as my mother energy is protecting me. God has really changed my heart, and I don't know who I'm talking to. It's time to do the work. You have to do it for yourself. Once you make up your mind to do the work and put in the work, actually surrender completely, you will find the truth. All truth will come to you. And the truth will set you free. Every day I go to peace with myself knowing that I gave it my all, knowing that I am free, knowing that I'm living and walking in my truth, knowing that there is nothing anybody can hold over my head, and there is no greater freedom than that. I have nothing to hide. Guys, thank you for tuning in. For the full hairstyle and outfit, follow me on Instagram at Aisha for His Glory. Don't forget to like my Facebook page, Rise for Success with Aisha. I'll talk to you guys soon. Stay tuned in. Mwah, mwah, mwah.